Okay. Last time on Dragons and Dungeons, the party awoke after a night and through the partial morning of running around and geared themselves for their next immediate step. Collecting Korakon, a strange elf lady trying to hype herself up to meet a group of people, was spotted in the hallway. Turns out this was Xalia's mother. After some awkward, brief introductions, she offered to take the party out for brunch. And then later at the Bingo Bean, she spilled the beans on her travels and Xalia's involvement in a previous adventure. Much lore was learned about how another continent views God Emperor Wenceslas, an entity named the Emperor Knight, and their weapon, and Lady Meryl's reason for being in Ituusk, encouraging everyone to come with her to be part of the excavation crew that Demia's Fool Killer, the boss of Ituusk, is recruiting for. She departed so that she could go get ready, mentioning that it is happening in the Undermarket and that she can't bring you there herself, but can tell you how to get there. She left while mentioning that she would be in disguise, and to not worry about finding her, she would try her best to get close to you. Meanwhile, the magic of the belt that Twig had been given during the auction at Tenuto was discovered, and the party had to all chip in to persuade Korakon to go along with the plan of turning him into a cat to escape notice, since it seems like there is someone impersonating him around the city.
Hit him with the cat boyification beam.
Beware the pipeline.
We come to our party, finishing the last of their brunch. Meryl has taken care of the bill, as promised. Chuman, you walk back in to hear a sucking noise and see a calico drop and land on the floor of this pleasant-smelling cafe lobby. It appears unhappy and lets out a...
Xalia picks it up as crabapple and pets it.
The proprietor shouts from the back, "Each cat can make their own choice on whether to engage with you or not. Please abide by their wishes. That noise means no." What would anyone like to do?
Makayla would say, well, since the doppelganger could theoretically pretend to be any one of us, suppose perhaps some sort of code word? Oh, there it goes. Sorry. The token just swapped on my screen. I suppose maybe a code word for Korakon to know that it is us that is trying to pick him up, I guess, so to speak.
Not a bad idea.
Kayla, thinks for a second. How about... just curious, where is the owner of this establishment?
They're in the kitchen. You can hear some water noises and just general kitchen noise.
Okay, that's back there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Makayla would look around a little bit and then say, how about the rats don't seem to fear this one. And then looks to Korakon cat to see if there's any response from him.
Xalia, minor illusions, rat cuddling up to a cat.
That'll work.
Korakat long blinks, but otherwise doesn't do anything.
Okay, not if you understood what I just said, Korakon.
If a cat could roll its eyes. Then there's a nod.
Zoaz lets out a sigh of relief. Then I suppose we shall go with that. Ah, Chuman! Where is our friend Pastiche?
Well, he should be stationed just outside. He had some intruders paying attention to my movement, so he was stationed to attempt to catch them in case they came back.
I see. we shall have to let them know about the code word and our current plans.
Agreed. Oh. Shall we prepare for later tonight?
When should we be going there exactly?
Zoaz looks around. Lady Meryl is still here, correct?
No, she's gone.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps we should have.
Mhm.
Perhaps we should have asked Lady Meryl.
Hmm. I guess just sometime after dark then. I assume it's probably fine.
Worst case scenario, we keep her waiting for a little while. I'm sure she'll understand.
Sure, it shouldn't be too difficult to find the location. Just a matter of making sure that we're there before I guess the event passes on.
Hmm. What did she say? She said we need to order a drink that's not on the menu? Drink that they don't serve? Was that
Zoaz nods.
is that the phrase?
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
Look
if everyone's
towards-
done with their meals, I suppose we should get going.
I suppose. Let's get going. Where?
Well, right now,
All
to
day ahead
collect,
of us.
to collect our friend Pastiche.
Ah, fair enough.
I don't see them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Smash cut to Pastiche.
Oops.
Pastiche.
Oh.
You are in pursuit of a gray gnome that has been acting rather suspicious in regards to your party. They are hobbling in a hurry through the streets back east to the city, their packs and pouches jostling around, making fabric noises as they scuttle. What are you up to?
We're chasing at a reasonable distance.
Okay.
You know, we're not getting close to them, but
Need a survival check from you, so you can keep up with this gnome through the hubbub of the city. What we got?
solid 20.
That's a solid 20. Solid 16 plus 4. Okay. Yeah. So as you're moving around, the gnome passes through the oasis, dodging through the streets, clumsily bumps into a raptor that chitters at him. Just spinning around the animal, they continue on. Your tracking skills that you tap into keep you on its tail. Yet you yourself remain unassuming and also invisible. And you find yourself outside the Uncle's Bluff. Wait for you to load here. The gnome squiggles inside. How about you?
Pastiche also squiggles inside.
Alright. Squiggling.
We're extra squiggly.
Chasing. You see the gnome dash down the stairway towards the rooms. And then you chase them, and you see the gnome just knock on a door, uttering in a hushed yet harsh voice, "Feather! Feather! It's me, Frey! Let me in, you're gonna love this." Door opens with a, "This better be good, get your ass in here." Zoop. Then they get cartoon dragged in. What would you like to do? The door shuts.
we're gonna put our ear right up against that door.
Slide me a perception check, please. Oh,
Dang.
16. All right, 17. Okay. Oh wait, by the way, it is
His birthday.
it is
Oh, right.
somewhat your birthday, so you get a +1 to all your stuff, and you
Cool.
also have inspiration if you didn't already have.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday.
you.
Let's see here. So, yeah, you press the side of your head against the door, steady your breathing from your jaunt across the streets, and you drop as many eaves as you possibly can. You hear the gnome's voice once again. Okay. So I was having some run fun, messing with them the other night. Looks like I was accidentally right, Feather. And you just hear the curt voice of the lady known as Feather. They're just rum fun to mean. Skip to the end. The gnome has a pause. And then the rest of the sentence seems like the wind was taken out of the sails. I was telling them, like you asked, and they seem like they're pretty fond of that crab guy. And he's got a package that he never lets down further than 5 feet of him. I bet if we get that guy, they'll do whatever we say. And Feather says, oh, and I do love when people do whatever I say. Did they spot you? There's a noticeable pause. No. And Vrain will roll deception
Oh no.
as soon as I find him.
Did they? They caught you, didn't they? What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dang it.
I've never been caught.
Oh, there we go. Moved him. Deception.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm not even gonna bother rolling Feather's insight, but there we go.
I've never been caught.
26 deception.
Yeah. No. You can hear Feather get up and take a few steps. Whatever. Round up the boys. There's a clapping noise. Tell them to find that lobster in his stupid crate. Archive's gonna have some. What'd you say? Rum fun? Go learn how to make crab stew. There's a metal scraping sound and incoming footsteps, Pastiche.
We're gonna step back.
Okay. Still in the hallway, or are you
Still in the hallway.
preventing
Like
passage?
hugging the opposite wall.
Okay. The door opens. Whoosh! And there is Feather brandishing the Xiphus sword that you know where to own. She's got this coy smirk on her face and flourishes it, spins the blade around, and sheaths it. She's got her hand on her hip, looking proud. Looks down, checks left, checks right. Behind her is not a gnome. Behind her is a gangly-looking fellow with large biceps and forearms,
Mm-hmm.
and overall very blue. Feather closes the door. Go make yourself presentable. And she goes upstairs.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna follow Feather for a while.
Okay. What's the rest of the party doing? Are you guys? Where are you headed?
Zoaz would probably have walked out the door of the establishment. You know, said his thanks to the owner. Walked out the door of the establishment and waited for Chuman to point the group in the direction of where Pastiche was.
Okay. Feather looks around and then exits stage south. Pastiche and just starts walking around the town, really.
Xalia would probably just following the rest of the group and carrying Catacomb.
Wait,
Put that back.
Not our cat.
She would be disappointed and put the cat back.
yeah, Xalia. That is the shop owner's cat.
Head tilt. Puts it back.
Alright. Pastiche, you're tailing Feather for a little while, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
I'm good at these.
How you know you're gonna do great.
Big money, no whammies. Oh my god.
He's good at
Someone,
them.
this birthday buff is insane.
A natural 20, you say? But what if I said... Where the heck... Okay, what if I said she also rolls a natural 20? Yeah, not even close.
Almost.
Okay. She gets an 18 to your 25, so yeah. She actually spends a good time, a good 30 minutes, astoundingly, very surprisingly, being a normal person. She's got a smile on her face walking around. Just her raiments that are currently black into purple gradient. Her feathered cloak just walks around sampling some shaved ice from a vendor. Looks around, ends up at the Oasis. Your hour's about up, where she's just been walking around. You've been tailing her all this time. She walks around, just looks at weapons for a little bit. She goes into a store, purchases something, comes out with a bag, takes what looks to be like a glass vial out of the bag, puts it in her, transfers it to her own side pouch, leaves the bag on the stoop, and then continues just milling around. She sits down on on like a little wall. There's a couple of benches to it. Like she hops on the bench and then hops on top of the wall, and then just sits around and just watches people go for a little while. She pushes herself off, lands in the sand. A little dwarf comes up to her. They speak for a few minutes, and then she shakes her head and kind of like puts up her hands like, no, sorry. And she kind of like meanders off. She ends up at the, probably at like the 45 minute mark, she ends up at the Oasis and just kind of sits on a little bench looking out over the water. She pulls out a book.
Alright, let's get in there. Let's look over her shoulder.
Okay.
See if we can see what that book is.
Alright. Give me a perception check. The writing is small. Okay. The writing is small, so you're not quite able to see a whole lot, except for the larger words. and the larger words that you can make out without disturbing Feather and getting too close to her where she might, feel something about, like maybe you breathe on her neck or something, is you can see new sword, exclamation point, exclamation point. You can see an elaborate drawing of 2 wings, and the next page she flips over, and then there is the same repeating phrase just going down the lines of the page. Some of it's diagonal, some of it's like upside down, and then like it's bedazzled with like stick-on crystals and stuff, and it's just the repeating phrase "I love buff men" over and over.
Oh my god.
Alright. Sick.
It's back.
You think you're gotten away?
You don't want to get away.
I think Pastiche is going to take a moment of pause. And then use the last few minutes of their invisibility to slink back to the uncle's bluff.
Okay. Alright. As you return to the uncle's bluff, you can see some drunk and bored individuals sitting on barrels outside. They seem to be pretty jovial with each other, just like clinking bottles together and just rocking on the barrels. They point in your general direction. For a moment, you might think that they're aware to your presence. Point is accompanied with a shout. 2 from the left. You look in the direction, and two people walk from the left side of the alley, coming into view before two people from the right walk in, and you hear like a cackle, ha, bam, and some wood thonks.
Upon hearing pay up, Pastiche is going to toss an extra silver coin their way.
Make a stealth check. All right.
I'm good.
As the silver coins pile onto the barrel, another silver arcs through the air and lands on top of the pile. Even in their inebriated state, all 3 of them look in the direction that the silver coin came in, and there you are, shimmering into view.
Pastiche is going to enter the uncle's bluff.
Roaring ruckus applause behind you as you enter the uncle's bluff. The uncle's bluff is busy, even though that is not what the map says. There's many people kind of milling around, just talking about whatever, talking about their day, about their next big gig, and you can see the proprietor tending the people that are at the bar.
Pastiche is just going to take an open seat near the entrance. Do a bit of meditation.
Pastiche begins meditating. Meanwhile, what about the other 5 in the past hour?
Well, I would assume that Zoaz would have asked Chuman to lead the way to where they split up.
Yeah.
Yep, they were just sticking with the group now. She started fucking with the crabapple basis, you know, doing her usual modifications.
I see.
Yeah, Chuman would have led to outside. That he should have been posted around here at least. Not sure where he could be now. That doesn't seem like he's still here anymore.
Zoaz. Thanks for a moment. Well, Pastiche is an adult. They can take care of themselves. I expect they're fine.
They wouldn't have left with no good reason, though.
That's,
Is there
that's true.
any sign of where they could have gone?
Oh, the Elven that I saw was heading his way down this way. However, there was a gnome that was running down south. I'm not sure if he saw either or, but those are the only two that were most suspicious.
Well, unless we mean to search the town, Well, I was about to say, I suppose we'll have to wait for him to come back to us. Don't suppose he'll even know that we intend to go back to that tavern, and well, what our plans for later tonight were. Don't believe he was there. Maybe Meryl said any of that.
Right, I walked in on the tail end of things, so if anything, he probably only knows at least that we'll be meeting tonight, but not where.
To interject, I think Pastiche was there when Meryl mentioned ordering a drink that's not on the list.
Okay.
On the menu.
Were you? Okay. Alright, well, then scratch that. Then, he heard what Lady Merle had said, so I say we just have to trust that he won't put himself in a position isolated, alone, and he'll return to us.
Zoaz nods.
Right.
If his aim isn't to win the fight, but escape it, or not engage with it, dare say Pastiche is well equipped to manage on his own, so I have a fair amount of confidence that they will be okay. At any rate, we have some time to kill, do we not?
Suppose.
Yeah. You guys can
Hey, Fatima.
do whatever you like. You can go shopping, or hang out, talk to each other, or whatever. Or we can just fast forward, whatever you like.
I
Do some trust building exercises.
I'll
An
take
exclamation mark appears above Zoaz's head. We should find another mount to replace the one that we lost. See if anyone here in Ituusk is selling.
I suppose so, yes.
And we don't have to roleplay it, but is there anyone in Ituusk willing to sell perhaps a raptor?
Yeah, roll
Or
me
use them
some.
out?
Roll some investigation,
Okay.
and I do actually have the price chart. Tell me the total. I'm still looking.
8.
8 total. Okay.
Zoaz is apparently not too familiar with Ituusk and is just sort of wandering.
It takes you some time. Okay, cool. Yeah, it takes you some time to find some sort of stable or animal husbandry place to where they are working on trying to get more raptors in the hands of the populace. So perhaps about 2 or 3 hours of asking around and trying to find a place that's open, that kind of thing, or willing to sell. And by the time you do, yeah, you do locate a place that is willing to sell you a raptor for the price of 80 gold.
Zoaz winces a bit, but it's important to not overtax the raptor that has been doing the heavy lifting so far. So he'll pony up. And I will subtract 80 gold from my total.
Alright. This one is of a different scale pattern than the previous pack raptor that unfortunately met its bitter end.
Yeah.
This one is not as described, where it is kind of like orange and then red. It's yellow and then green.
Ah, I see. Well, Zoaz will probably bring that to the stable and have it put up with the rest of the group's raptors.
Okay.
If anyone else has anything.
Nothing in particular is coming to mind. Xalia's probably just gonna stick with the group and think about, evening.
Twig's mostly gonna stick with the group, but if he spots any potion shops, he would buy a potion of healing, or try to buy one.
Okay. In following Zoaz around, that would make sense. Make a perception check. If it's below 5, you don't get one. Yeah, there's a potion shop coming up. Hey, Zoaz, hang on a second.
Zoaz stops.
Below 5, we can't roll low.
What sort of potions are you after, Twig?
Just a potion of healing.
Okay. This potion of healing that you have descended upon, the appears the shop is selling them for 55 gold.
The raptor swooping in.
It is a round glass with a small kind of little test tube neck. It's got a little stopper on it. It's got a nice little tag.
I'll get one of them.
Okay. You can
55, you said?
55 gold, and you can add a healing potion or potion of healing into your inventory. Okay.
Alright.
Anything else? From anybody else?
Nope. Up from Chuman.
Nothing coming to mind.
Okay.
Let's just take a rest until the appointed time then, or
Sure.
until it starts getting dark.
You can mark a short rest if you would benefit from it. And that won't count against your incrementing time short rests.
Oh, okay.
So, benefit.
Would I still have my hungover status after a short rest?
Make a constitution save.
Those were some strong drinks.
A couple strong drinks.
Just a few. 18.
Yeah, that's fine. You are, after walking around, getting your blood flowing, your body naturally replenishes, your full tank of blood over the course of a certain amount of time. You had some coffee in you, some actual real good nutritious food. Yeah, you're feeling a little, you're feeling pretty fit.
Great. Or technically that's a 17 because of the poison people.
Yeah, you're right. In that case, no.
Cool.
All right. It is getting on into the evening, where you come upon the Uncle's Bluff. There are 3 vacant barrels outside. But from the window, you can see the back of Pastiche's head.
Oh.
Well, that at least looks like our good old snake friend.
Oh, I say we pay a visit, find out what he managed to get.
As long as it's not a doppelganger.
I want to wish it into existence, please.
Zoaz will start towards the Uncle's Bluff.
Ah, Pastiche.
Oh, Chuman, you've arrived.
I assume
What
you were
kept you so long?
I assume you were tailing someone. Yeah, your tracks was. You left no tracks after you disappeared.
Ah, right. Our friend, the Stalker. Well, I learned a few things. They are our doppelganger, and they are working with Feather. Pastiche is not particularly secretive about this information.
Oh, like saying it out loud.
Just hear a long sigh from Chuman. And then he looks over at Zoaz.
Zoaz is scanning the room to see if that got any reactions out of anyone that he can see.
Make a perception check.
Hey!
A lot of 20s.
Sure, it's not the birthday party?
Natural 20.
I'm built different.
Alright, so Zoaz, you cast a trained eye over the lobby. You can see many people enjoying themselves and their company and their drinks. There's a huge baguette that 3 men and a hobgoblin are chowing down on.
Dang.
They've actually got it split up where the bread is sliced in half, and they've got all this kind of like gushy, juicy, meaty food on it that they're using the bread as a plate, and then once they you can see one has already finished, and then with the food on top, and then they just make this huge gnashing bite into the bread, now soaked with all of the juices and goodness of the food that previously was on top of it. You identify this as a technique called called a trencher. But
I see.
among this spectacle, no, everyone's too busy with themselves.
Makes sense. Well, Zoaz shrugs. So, well, that's good to know.
I believe at the moment they are looking for Korakon.
Well, then I suppose they'll be looking quite a while. Hopefully.
We shall hope.
Yes, indeed. Well, what have you all been up to?
Oh, mostly just spending time out on the town. Oh, we got a new raptor to replace the one that the griffin took care of.
Ah, excellent.
And I believe Twig picked up something.
A potion for me. I was getting a little thirsty.
Zoaz nods and says, well, shall we order?
I suppose now is as good a time as any.
Worst case scenario, Meryl will come down later.
Hmm.
Best case, she'll be there already.
Makes sense to me.
Right.
Zoaz will make his way up to the bartender.
Perhaps Twig, since they seem to know the local dialect of the best. Might be wise for them to order.
Zoaz shrugs. Says, lead the way. We all shuffle around a little bit, trying to make space for Twig to get through to the front of the group without bumping into anyone.
It's a little packed. Yeah.
Xalia literally just moved her torso out of the way.
Uh-huh.
Like just the torso, nothing
Uh-huh.
else.
Yes, exactly. You understand.
It is a little packed, but Twig, you managed to make it up to the bar and catch the bartender's attention. Hello, my favorite cove. What can I do for you?
Twig waves friendly, and he motions towards the rest of the group. Oh, I was thinking just a round of spiced water for me and my friends here.
There's a kind of like a little twitch, and the bartender kind of tilts their head a bit. Sorry, that item is not on the menu, and we do not serve that.
Twig will nod a little bit.
Make a persuasion check. Roll interpretive dance.
It's gonna be a really persuasive nod.
Oh,
Good thing
performance?
I
got
have expertise in interpretive dance.
Okay.
Good.
Hold on, this should be at disadvantage, I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, exhaustion.
I'm tired.
Oh no!
Thank you. I have inspiration.
Alright.
Thankfully, it's Twig's birthday. So.
Yeah, it's Twig's birthday.
Happy birthday, Twig.
Go ahead.
Whatever you roll this with, disadvantage or normal?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes, it is with disadvantage. You get to
Okay.
You get to redo the roll. Okay. The DC was 10. Well done. So the bartender picks up a glass and starts cleaning it with a little cloth. Oh, I see. Well, would you prefer a diluted one, a bit of scratch, or would you rather have a bluff? Smiling at you.
Mhm. I just need 1 second. Thieves' Cant is hard.
Twig holds up a claw and checks his notes.
Hmm. Well, a little bluff never hurt anyone.
All right, one moment. And bartender turns around. And they grab something from underneath the counter. You hear like a, and they kneel down. And they're gone for a moment, and then quickly they pop back up, and the space before you is occupied with a glass with a clear liquid in it on a napkin.
The spiced water.
One spiced water.
This might be a little too spicy. Trying to remember if Twig was there to witness the last time someone ordered that. I don't think he was.
Well, what would Twig do?
Twig would drink it.
All right, glug glug.
Down it in one. Yeah.
Okay. It is very refreshing, non-spiced water.
Aw.
But it's crisp and clear and hits the spot. As you put the water back down on the glass or on the napkin, you can see that the napkin has shifted a bit from when you first took it up. The condensation pulled the napkin up a bit, and you can see now that there's like a little triangle poking out underneath, or from between the wedges of the folded napkin.
Twig would take a closer look at the napkin.
Okay. Roll me perception. No, there's a note here.
Little bubble ones.
It's a piece of paper.
Yeah, there is a note kind of like hidden between the napkin. And it seems that jostling it has revealed it.
What does the note say?
Okay, the note reads, it is very quick. It's just kind of like scribbled, but you take a moment and you are able to get it out. It reads, downstairs, turn left. The little snakesman has a riddle for you. And upon confirming that you obtain the note, the bartender looks at you and pipes up, you know, Demios is looking for another pair of eyes in his little excavation. So we're giving hints this week. That hint is something that always can be taken and given, yet never tangible. I wish you luck.
Much appreciated. And thank you again for the drink.
I hope you spy something that you find bene.
Twig nods and starts to motion to the rest of the party as he heads for the stairs.
Zoaz raises an eyebrow, one scaly eyebrow, and will follow.
Pastiche is going to nod at the bartender on the way out, and follow Twig.
Bartender gives a friendly nod and a smile as he watches the whole group of the 6 of you go. And then attention diverts and goes back to the people nursing their drinks in front of him. And as you all head down this first flight of stairs, there's the creak of wood on the stairs with each step is audible. Reaching the end of the flight, you look around and you see a simple, like, wood constructed hallway. It forms an immediate 90-degree angle to the right, and then peering down, you can see where the rooms have been constructed, and you know how this hallway works.
Oh.
Achievement unlocked. Hallway understander.
It's a background feature, actually. There's a background feature where, like, you know what purpose a building has or something.
Amazing.
What would you like to do?
Is there anything to the left?
No.
Nothing at all?
There is a big wood wall. You are meant to turn right.
Alright. Then we'll head right. I
Okay.
could have sworn it was left, sorry.
That is... Well, above board, I should say. That's what I heard.
Clearly, walk into the wall.
I mean, yeah, Zoaz is going to follow Twig.
Twig will read the note again just to be sure, and then head whatever direction that says.
All right, you pull out the note again, and then kind of like straighten the paper. It says, downstairs, turn left. The little snakesman has a riddle for you.
Twig will take another look to the left and another look to the right.
Menacingly, there is a wooden wall. There's nothing to the left.
Twig
But to
is
your right,
everything all right?
there's a lovely hallway.
I'm thinking. Hold on. Twig will walk up to the wooden. Well, it says to turn left at the bottom of the stairs. And Twig will like walk up to the wooden wall and like tentatively knock on it.
Okay.
Hello?
Bump, bump. Wooden knock noises. Make a investigation check, or a perception check, rather. We get 10.
What are these 10s?
I will say, being an adventurer and being from a background that you are, a 10 will let you know that very slightly, very almost imperceptible. Like it makes you kind of like double take with your ears. There's something slightly different about the knock sound. But you're not able to discern what's different about it. It's just kind of like a little nagging down. It's like kind of like a wait a minute. Like you're almost willing something to be different about it. Because you have 5 people behind you that you don't want to disappoint.
Looking down at the note again, Twig will try to push it open like it's a door.
Okay.
It should be unlocked.
As you push on the wall and exert some force on it, there's a small draft around this wall. Opening the door, you can see a small room.
Was a door.
It takes a little bit of exertion. It seems stuck at first, and then you can see a small room. Again, dark wood. It is featureless except for a small person reclining on the floor against the far wall, looking down on the ground. They are wearing cloth garments, and their face shrouded by a pulled-over hood. Next to them is a lidded drinking jar. They just say, "Occupied, sheesh, do you mind?"
Surely there's room for a few more.
Just looks around as the group starts stepping in and just kind of follows. At least I assume that's what was happening as Twig moved forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as you all step in and the door behind you closes, right? Everyone goes in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
As you all, the door behind you closes with a creak. The hooded man goes, "Aye, just a jest." They kind of like rub their hands with it with anticipation. "You've come to bing down to the real market, eh? Tired of them sweat-stained culls upstairs? You can go in, but let's have a bit of fun with our noodles at first, eh? Demios only wants distinguished cubs, not mummergudgeons. It'll only take a finger."
Makayla blinks.
Zoaz nods
Twig.
understandingly.
Doesn't understand everything.
Yes, I understand. Doesn't understand anything.
Well, Twig will like motion behind him, or he'll nod and say, "A little bit of fun. What did you have in mind?" Whoa.
You're in a room, so I had to throw up some walls.
He's a master of shadows.
Benny. Right, this one's in honor of Archie Fool Killer's discovery. It's easy, I promise. He gives like a little nod. You can see like the beard underneath the hood, all this like scraggly and scratchy and kind of like ale stained. Suppose a merchant that's been running gulls ragged crashes into a hitman and he climbs up to bed, right? He deserved it. The gentleman footpad makes off with his rum card, bags of flash, and all his chunks of brandy and gin. But, holds up a finger, what would have been cloyed first from the bloke?
Twig is thinking.
Take your toy.
Could you repeat that one more time?
You can see like an exasperated. They reach for the
Fake
lid.
thief. Fake thiever boys.
They reach for the lid, just take a swig. Suppose a merchant that's been running gulls ragged crashes into a hitman and he climbs up the bed, right? He deserved it. The gentleman footpad makes off with his rum card, bags of flesh, and all his chunks of brandy and gin. But what would have been cloyed first from the bloke? And I'll not say it again. Think carefully, my friend. Sorry, he doesn't say me friend, he says mate. Think carefully,
so.
mate.
It's an important distinction.
I have
Twig.
benevolently put it in chat. Whoops, missed a letter. There you go.
Part of the line.
There you go.
Twig will. He's like looking down, thinking for a second.
Tick tock, says the hooded man.
Didn't you just say I could take my time?
Make a persuasion check.
I saw P and just clicked on perception again.
Holds up some like thick leather, like worn leather gloved hands. All right. Patience is a virtue.
Twig will like snap his fingers and say, "His life."
Make another persuasion check.
It's gonna be 10 again. No.
You can see from like beneath the ale-stained beard of like mustache going everywhere. Sorry, soup savor going everywhere. You can see like this gringy smile. And ain't that the most precious thing anyone has, eh? Person rolls backwards through a revolving panel in the wood and exits the room.
As you do.
He just rolls.
Yep. You were left alone.
Xalia makes a weirdly exasperated, weirdly condescending noise.
Come on, that was a pretty impressive move.
No, I think I agree with Xalia on this one.
You hear a latch, and another seamless wooden door opens for you, and the diminutive person gives a slight bow and waves their arm. Go on then. The nightlife awaits you. And if you're looking for fat lady work, oh, find old Demios down there too. Erys is given unhindered passage across the chasm to cubs that help him.
Twig thanks him and goes to the door, but he doesn't roll through it.
Well, you like rolls through like a panel like adjacent to the door. Okay. You're not allowed in the roll panel.
In the panel. I would never presume.
If that latch hadn't opened up, if that door hadn't opened up soon, Zoaz was about to try.
Alright, as you pad down the stone steps, descending. One moment. Uno momento. We wonder why Makayla can see everywhere.
What?
Hang on.
Makayla's eyes have evolved.
I just, on a whim, I just double checked your tokens. There, I think that's better.
That star jar hits different.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright. 5 feet vision range. Okay. As you pad down the stone steps, you descend in the cool, dry air of what must be a cellar to the Uncle's Bluff. It is a public house above, after all. There's the smell of bread, metal clean water and like sandy smell hanging in the air. It all enters your nostrils. There's a railing that leads you down the stone steps, and as you hear jovial conversation, the music changes. Echoes up to your ears. The landing is illuminated by torchlight, and you can see the ragged stone that is itself the color of sunlight. A statue comes into view. Rising to just a few inches below the ceiling and wrought from a glittering metal is a great serpentine beast with fins and sails arcing down its back and around its tail. Behind it is a closed door, and suddenly you hear on either side of you, "Oi, welcome to Undermarket."
Zoaz looks at the guards that he has noticed beside him and says, thank you.
Chuman just gives a silent nod as he continues looking forward.
Xalia's gonna give herself sea serpent traits, the swimming adaptation, just without any actual water to swim in. She's fitting in.
Okay. Are you using your thing, or are you just doing shape change stuff?
She's using her thing.
Okay. You become very similar to this creature that the statue is depicting.
Huh?
Did the man back there explain in any of those words where we should be going?
Twig will ask the guard, do you have any idea where Dimios is? I hear he was looking for some fat lady work.
Oh, hi. I ain't seen you around here before. Most people end up looking around at the shops, but if you're looking for old Archie, he's across the hall in the next room. They're doing all sorts of flag waving now that it seems we got a new import from the merchant prince. Go hit up the boss. Remember, across the hall from the next room.
Twig nods and thanks him.
Hearing that, Zoaz will start towards the next room, across the hall.
Okay. As we sort of walk away from the guards, I guess. Kayla kind of will say a little quietly, not the best feeling about this, I suppose, but I guess we'll see where this goes.
Could go wrong.
Yes, what can go wrong in an underground black market? I guess we're applying for illegal work? I don't even know.
You hear behind you, "You'd be surprised, Mar." I promise you're safer down here than you are upstairs.
Well, it's not exactly my safety concerns, but I guess we'll keep walking wherever we're walking. But I appreciate the concern, she'll say, without looking back to them.
Could Twig take a quick look at the statue?
Yeah. You can see the statue has a plaque. But, are you looking for anything specific? Like, are you looking at the depiction of the creature? Are you looking for, anything weird on it?
No, just giving it a once over and probably reading the plaque.
Okay. Yeah, so the statue depicts this big statue. It depicts this large serpentine lizard dragon thing? Fish? Seahorse?
Xalia recognize this from her sea serpent research earlier?
Not from your sea serpent research, but everybody
Okay.
recognizes this.
Yeah, this is the same sort of
Okay.
statue as the one that we saw under Baskar?
Yeah.
Yep, I remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone recognizes the statue. It was definitely an event for everyone. So no history check required. You auto pass the history check.
Wow.
Yeah, this is definitely depicting the same creature that you saw down in Baskar. Much more diminutive in scale. But Twig, you cast an eye over the plaque. It reads Eye of the Moon.
Eye of the Moon, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see a closed door behind it. It is this statue, as you give another focused once over. Yeah, it's rather remarkable craftsmanship. Someone spent a lot of time on this. The fins arc and billow and ebb and wave. Yeah.
I try the door.
The door is tryable. You open the door. In the next room, there is this room looks like it merely serves as a staging ground for distribution to the rest of the rooms. It has doors and
An antechamber.
yeah. Hang on though before you go to the other side. I mean, hang on. But you can definitely enter it. Let's see.
Okay.
So it has doors in each cardinal direction. There's padding wrapped around and obscuring various inscrutinizable objects. Taking up the center is this bedazzled and bejeweled tiefling holding a clipboard. His mahogany shirt bears his purple chest and a cerulean tattoo of a wing on it to the world. Then, turning to the noise of the door opening, an eyebrow curiously raises in your direction, Makayla, as you open the door. Hello. It's an elongated hello.
Hello. Kayla actually steps back as realizes it's not actually really know how to navigate this area. What to ask for.
Their arms kind of splay wide in a welcoming motion, holding clipboard. Welcome to the Undermarkets, my good cause. Can I help you find something? Perhaps a nasty weapon to beat back those wanderers above surface. Perhaps an excellent draft to quench your thirsts. Something to accessorize yourself, perhaps. We have it all here in the Undermarket.
Looks to Twig. I believe we were looking for
Dimiaz.
Oh, him.
There.
Yeah, he's in the office. He's in the off. He's in the background. He just points over his shoulder with his thumb.
the one directly. This one. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to click that.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't look.
As this conversation is happening, Pastiche is just kind of standing around the doorway, checking their back.
Okay. Perception, please. Oh no.
Oh no?
Where is Xalia's token? You gotta tell me when somebody's missing.
Oh, it was RP.
There you go.
Xalia moment.
It's always Xalia moments in this bitch of an earth.
Yeah. Pastiche, you see Xalia lingering for a moment, and then she suddenly appears.
All scaled up.
All scaled up on a Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, and like you see the guards kind of like pointing with their thumbs towards your group and just kind of like making hand gestures and like their shrugs. And it's like, I don't know, was she threatening me? Did I say something wrong? I didn't mean to make her angry. I was just trying to be nice. And they're like, one of them kind of like pats him on the shoulder. It'll be all right next time.
Okay. They're on the up and up.
Uh-huh.
What's the plan?
I guess. Say thank you and head forward.
Okay.
Zoaz will follow.
Okay, let's see here. As you all kind of shuffle through the room, Chuman, the tiefling, beckons to you with a curled finger. Excuse me, pardon me, you there with the goggles. Could you come closer? Who drew your map? And then, Chuman, in some corner of your mind, you recall this to be a yes-no question of safety.
Just to make sure I understood, you said, who drew your map?
Yes.
Sorry, my back has been messing with me today.
Oh, good. Hope your back is. Hope you feel better soon, I should say.
Stretches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is, let's see. So to reiterate, excuse me, pardon me, you there with the goggles, could you come closer? Who drew your map? And then you recall this.
Oh, map, not mask.
And then just in some corner of your mind, Chuman, it's been quite some time since you've heard this. But it just somehow jogs your memory, and you recall this to be a yes-no question of if you are safe or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Chuman just looks at him, straight in his eyes. Yes.
Okay. Pastiche. Go ahead and roll me initiative, Pastiche.
Okay.
Okay, well now I rolled a natural 20.
Dang.
Pastiche, you notice the subtleties of a stance shift in like hips lower and knees bend, all conducive for a surge of movement. But quicker than you can react, you've got your eyes on your party members sidling past this unassuming tiefling. The tiefling rushes forward, and I need Chuman to make an acrobatics check or an athletics check.
Okay.
Dang.
I actually need another one. They're going to do this twice. Well, natural 20.
Oh my god.
Does he need another one?
Yeah, they do it twice. All right. So, what happens?
What a cheater.
What happens is this tiefling rushes forward and, with their clipboard, slams their clipboard into your chest, knocking you stumbling backwards. And then they use the balance shift to knock you backwards yet again up against the statue of the dragon. You're not hurt or anything, but then they turn around to the rest of the party and look over their shoulder back at you. My liege, I've been looking all over for you. Who are these rascals you're with? They appear to be in like a protective stance.
Protective from us.
They are facing you with their kind of like hands outstretched, clipboard in one hand, and like edge of their hand facing towards the rest of you.
Well, Makayla very quickly spins around and is in her character art pose.
Chuman kind of regaining from his stumble. These are my companions. I'm sorry, but I unfortunately do not know who you are.
Make a persuasion check. Or deception if they're not really your companions. I don't know.
What do you say is the deception or
Persuasion.
Hopefully persuasion.
Deception time. Evil.
using the inspiration on this?
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking kind of evil right now.
It's a little bit hard to convince people about Zoaz, clearly.
Well-known evil man, Zoaz.
Part of the absolutely horribly evil Moonlight Shepherds.
Okay.
The real troublemaker of the group.
Mm-hmm.
They give like a wary glance back to you. They must have you under some kind of spell.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Explain yourselves, demons.
Xalia is going to immediately make her face completely demonic, slash infernal. There is smoke and fire coming out of it.
Zoaz just kind of looks around. It's like, excuse me?
I'll have you know, I am neither rascal nor demon.
Sorry, I clicked the thing again by accident.
What are you doing carting around my liege with you then? With your
Chuman, you mean?
With your nefarious plans? You made a wrong turn coming down here.
I assure you, this is nothing. This is nothing that you believe.
So it's just like he's wary, but he's mostly just kind of confused. Like he's got his hands out, like trying to placate him. You must have the wrong guy.
Chuman kind of like shoves his hands off of him.
Okay. Trying to push him away, or?
No, not entirely. Just like kind of get out of his personal space.
Okay. Yeah, you achieved this.
Should explain yourself before you make such move. These are my companions. I'm with them for a mission. So you should explain something right now before you cause any more commotion.
Make another persuasion check.
I'll nail one of these.
Not this one.
Well, you're quite outnumbered. I will save you definitely, but here, come quickly.
Could we not just talk this out of introductions? Might help smooth any misunderstandings. Makayla, Zoaz, Twig, Pastiche, and the man you, I believe, are mistakenly believing to be some kind of liege is Chuman.
Xalia low hisses. She's using prestidigitation to make it reverberate.
And that is Xalia, I assure you. Though her looks may be intimidating, she is not a demon.
Make a.
You don't know this.
Make a deception check.
Do I make a deception check if I'm not aware if I'm lying or not? I feel like that would just be persuasion.
Makayla, roll persuasion with advantage. You introduced yourself. Yourselves, anyway.
22.
A 22? Dang. Okay. Your plea to this tiefling does soften them a little bit. He looks around, looks back at the guards who have their hands on their weapons, but they haven't moved yet. A little unsure. He stands up straight and like kind of
change your name in response.
Straightens his vest. All right. I appear to have the upper hand, so sure, I'll play by your game. My name is Champagne. For all intents and purposes, I run the Undermarket. There's quite a things that run through here, and on my quests, figured it would be good to make my station here. Now, one of those is, thank you for clarifying, Chuman here. Chuman is a national treasure, and he must come back home to Tumulus Empire. He's been missing for quite some time, you see.
Makayla looks past him to try and look at what Chuman is any of this true?
Human size. I was hoping to never have to explain my past.
It's true, but he doesn't want it to be.
Yes, I am from the Tumulus Empire. However, I left on my own accord, and I don't plan to come back anytime soon.
It's a pity you don't necessarily have a say in that. People are very worried, Chuman.
If I may, and Zoaz steps forward. I am, as my friend Makayla said, Zoaz Ituusk, a Moonlight Shepherd, and while I may not be aware of the politics of this empire you speak of, Chuman here is under my care. He is someone I am escorting. It would behoove you to let him go.
Persuasion check with advantage. Name dropping lizard. Alright. You can see the stance kind of relax. And he just stands straight up. Still on their clipboard. Still kind of switching eyes to gaze at all of you. Especially Xalia behind him.
What could possibly be the issue with Xalia?
Xalia, you get 2 checks per everybody's 1. And you can see him sigh. Zoaz Ituusk, Moonlight Shepherds, eh? Alright. That checks out, I'm aware of you. I was in Tenuto just a few weeks ago, and that's not a lie. You know what? That's good. They just kind of clap their hands together and enter the anteroom. Come on, come in. Let me speak.
Zoaz just kind of steps aside to let everyone else filter in.
Yeah. You guys do a little dance as they as you try to go the same direction. And then, yeah.
Xalia makes a point to move as unnaturally as possible.
Okay.
Chuman takes a moment before looking around. Specifically the guards or anything in around the area?
The guards seem tense, but more relaxed. They're leaning against the wall with their arms folded instead of their hands on their weapons.
Chuman begrudgingly moves behind the thiefman.
Xalia undulates in.
You understand?
The tiefling kind of like makes a kind of like wafting motion at the door, and the door closes. So you in this room, the tiefling kind of like puts his hands in his pockets, which has the effect of draping his shirt open a little more. You can very clearly see just cerulean wing tattoo on his chest, like where the ribcage goes, and just kind of mutters and explains, well, now that I know where I can find Chuman once again very easily, gives you a nod, Zoaz. That puts us on good terms. You see, honestly, I did not want to bring you back yet, Chuman. There's some trouble that actually takes precedence over this. See, I am a... forgive me, you do not know me, but I am from your clan. I am something of a bounty hunter from the Tumulus Empire. Gestures towards this wing tattoo, which Xalia, you'll recall, looks very similar to the parchments that she purloined from Ufaka. And also, if anyone has seen Chuman's left shoulder, is the same thing there.
You may have caught a glimpse of it during the Griffin fight.
Yeah.
If you were at least looking around.
They look. See, there's. I do many things, and empowered by this symbol here. It is called a dragon mark. It is a quite useful thing. But yes, Chuman here is next in line in the Tumulus Empire. I do so hope that's okay to tell them. You can see a little grin.
Oh, you seem to have known everything else, as well as spilled everything information. Why don't you keep going?
People should be on the up and up. They should know. Knowing things is definitely in our wheelhouse, isn't it, Chuman? But
speak for yourself.
Well,
out with it. What is your issue?
There is definitely a little something that you may be surprised takes precedence over your safe return back to Tumulus. There's actually been a treasure that has been illegally sold from the castle vault and coffers. Those dastardly instigators have been handled, but the deal's already done. And I've been hired to take it back. So that's why I'm parked here in the Undermarket.
Alright, and what significance does this have?
I'm
If
sorry,
it has
say
been
it again?
illegally. What significance is this being stolen? You mentioned that it's been illegally sold. What issues could it cause with it being in the wrong hands?
Well, I think that's quite apparent. It's quite important, Chuman. It's definitely perhaps the most important of them all. It can map out life's way forward, and only your line can. He looks around. Oops, I've said too much.
So clears his throat and says, I see, but I don't quite see what this has to do with Chuman specifically. Could they not have sent you out looking for said artifact instead of for Chuman? Or...
Well, I believe that's why they've placed themselves there.
I misheard.
It's,
I'm sorry. Well, in any case,
Right, what better place to look for stolen artifacts than a black market,
Indeed.
right?
Obviously, since it's contraband, it makes sense that it would show up, yeah.
I still don't see what this has to do with Chuman specifically.
Let me be clear then. This item, I suppose I can get away with calling it an artifact. This item is from Chuman's kingdom. It is from his coffers. It's partially his responsibility. It's not. Don't worry, Chuman. I don't hold you to anything. I'll find it.
I don't remember it being my responsibility after I've been gone for over a decade. You have many that's in line for heir to the throne.
Have you perhaps had a glimpse of it? It's been described to me as some kind of glittery pendant.
Chuman thinks for a moment.
You can roll a history check. You'll, just as I would, you'll know it when you see it. With an impressive 3 on your history check.
I'm afraid it's been far too long since I've seen any of this pendant that you explain. It's been quite an eventful 10 years, over a decade for me.
All right. Well, if you see something, make sure you bring it back to myself so we can return it to your kingdom, my lord. Just like me, you'll know it when you see it.
Do I know anything of said kingdom?
The Tumulus Empire? Yeah, roll a history check. Anybody that wants to see if they can recall something from this place, you can roll history. The DC is 10.
That's a 10. Oh, I got a 10.
You know what? Everybody roll. Or if you have a passive that's 10 or greater.
Xavier, what's your history?
My
Her
passive
history is
13.
+7, so she knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chuman, please regale your companions with the tale of the Tumulus Empire as they recall. What would be public information?
The Tumulus Empire is one of the other major trade markets that has been within his in his lands. So just as like Khorzaire here, they have a lot of trade merchants. Tumulus is also part of that for just their land itself. But on top of that, it's also almost like one of the most powerful I guess you could say regions for it, which is why it's named as the Empire, because all outside of I think 2 other kingdoms is basically kind of a triangle of power between the 3.
So, like, they have a lot of weight to throw around on the market, is what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, Zoaz doesn't know this. He did not roll well in his history, so he's
You've heard of the place. You're like, oh yeah, that place.
Oh, you want me to actually roll? Okay.
No, you if you have a
Well,
high passive, you're good.
You had a +7, so you.
I mean,
Well,
easy.
She can 10.
All right,
It's
you
not
gotta.
somewhere she's done much studying on.
Yeah, I mean, you're not-
You've at least heard of
Yeah.
the place, but like not any specifics.
Yeah. And then on the topic of triangles, it is west, and it forms a triangle between Khorzaire, Tumulus, and Moonwatch.
Okay.
And that's what you recall while this ostentatious tiefling is explaining himself and also explaining Chuman a little bit.
Oh, sorry. You said it, so it's outside of Khorzaire.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's like beyond it. Got it.
let's see. The tiefling continues. Well, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Champagne. I am so named all because I am all about celebrations, and finding Chuman is certainly cause for vivation. But I can see he's in good hands. Take care of him, won't you? And by all means, once again, welcome to Undermarket. Anything that anyone drops on Khorzaire eventually makes its way here. You also often get imports. If you're looking for anything that you can't find above ground, you can bet your bottom it's here in the Undermarket. We specialize in the rare and esoteric, especially if you've got the financial backing. All we ask is mum's the word. He holds a purple finger to his lips, and to follow regulations if you don't want to get stripes. Feel free to look around. Buy up whatever bubbles you like.
Xalia makes her carapace striped.
Feel free to look around and buy up whatever baubles you like. And stay safe, Chuman. I'll come find you if you're not.
Can't believe the city of being attacked by your backstory.
We also deal in information.
Well, Makayla just like shoots Chuman a look of like, we'll talk about this later.
Chuman has the face of, we'll have to talk about this later.
The tiefling bows as jingles and jangles and gold who's a what's-its clattering against each other as, you know, the upper torso just jingles a bit and smiles. Far be it from me to impede your shopping any further. Oh, you were looking for Demios. Yes, please.
Yes.
He seems to be in a good mood, by all means. Gives you a wink and like a little click of his tongue. Genuinely just... and claps. Psh, psh.
It has been
A pleasure.
Experience.
meeting you. I suppose.
Pleasure, indeed. And thank you. I will do my best to ensure his human safety, as I always have.
Indeed. Cherish everything, what I say. And every person, of course. Gives you a wink too, but no click.
You have been deemed unworthy of click.
Apparently.
He does shake your hand though. If you were offering your hand.
Zoaz will. Zoaz wasn't offering, but if the handshake was extended, he would go for it.
Absolutely. It happens. Alright. No longer barred by this tiefling that celebrated your arrival in one way or another.
Mhm.
Okay, you continue on towards Demio, the room that holds Demios. Unless
Pastiche
there's
is going to stay behind for a little while and stare down Champagne for a bit,
Champagne's
recalling
watching
the
you.
auction in Tenuto, trying to think if there was anything suspicious about it. Narrow their eyes, flit their tongue a couple times.
Smells pretty good.
Taste the air, yeah.
Is that air tasty?
The air around Champagne smells pretty good.
Does it smell like champagne?
You don't know.
Yeah, actually.
To Pastiche, yes. Champagne doesn't seem to notice you, Pastiche. She's just watching everyone kind of file out to the west, and then is focused on watching Chuman.
Hey, Sigma. Have you come to end me?
Pastiche, fairly single-minded during the auction, isn't going to recall anything suspicious, but is going to stare Champagne down until they get a reaction.
Okay. During the auction, yeah, indeed, there wasn't really anything suspicious. Just he was doing his job as an MC. Very loud and exaggerated movements to show off the merchandise. His tattoo is on display there. It's not like he has ever tried to hide it.
Yeah.
You do remember no magic. No magic allowed from the rules, but yeah, that's anything really that you can recall. As everyone files out, Champagne brings his clipboard around, looks down at it, then sees you in his peripherals, and then kind of looks at, yes? How may I help you? Shopping?
Pastiche flits their tongue one more time. Widens their eyes. Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Carry on. And
Alright.
backs towards the door.
Have fun shopping, lots of wares. I mean, Pastiche, you actually feel like a little spank on your butt.
Whoa. Okay.
Bang!
Go get him.
Pastiche does not flinch on the way out.
Used to that, huh?
Dang!
Alright. So the next room, yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
since at this point, I think Makayla's really just like trying to find either a illusionist or a shapeshifter who said they wouldn't look like how they said they'd meet us, like how we saw them before. It's just gonna kind of keep moving until someone stops her.
Okay. There's actually way more people in here.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, so the general layout of this room as you enter it is that you are on a higher floor with ramping stairs that lead to the far end of the room. And it's curling around a small pool of clear water from which a circle of rocks juts up from. There are doors to the north and south, and on the west there's a very large double door. Everyone can pile into this room. Go ahead if you want to see.
I mean, they were probably just wandering around looking for anything interesting.
Zoaz would probably be assuming that the direction they're headed is towards the big door, so that's where he'd be.
Okay,
Going.
so on the west there's a very large double door. It's rather ornate. It features carvings forming intricate depictions of like flames and skeletons reaching out from like a prominent empty. No, I kind of described that wrong. Like in the middle, there's this like empty recess in the middle of the door, and like reaching out off from it is like flames and skeletons and cool stuff. Like it's pretty metal. In the middle of this room, standing near the circle of rocks, is a beast of an individual. They must be around 7 feet tall. They've got powerful arms, guarded by golden pauldrons and brown leather vambraces. He's armed with, it's kind of like strapped to his back. He's armed with a unique-looking double-bladed weapon, sporting, instead of blades like a normal Doomstrider, sporting crescent axes on each end. And he's got this wild mane that frames a tattooed and scarred face. And next to him, as he is engaging in casual, pleasant conversation, is a familiar figure with a slick back, ponytail, trimmed beard, suit coat, chinos, Nizev Monaco. They are engaging in a pleasant conversation as you enter this room. It's like, Dense Slayer, I'm glad we could meet. And then it's responded with, please, Nizev, Fool Killer is my pride. I understand it's good to be prideful about your calling. Now, I wanted to speak to you about shopping around. and as the door opens, they kind of like whirl around. And you have a very large lion man and a posh individual looking at you.
Pastiche starts for a moment before averting their gaze.
I think Nazev actually sees you first and pipes up very quickly. Oh, Andy, was it? Have you... looking at Demios, Nazev does, looking at to kind of like check him real quick, then he turns back towards you. You can see like his eyes kind of dart around. Have you come to join the expedition? It would be splendid to work with a future student and yourself, your future professor. We can begin your lessons immediately. And he kind of like whaps Demios on the chest. That one, smart as a cookie.
Zoaz looks around at. I believe you have the wrong person.
Follows
The expedition? Yes, of course.
Zoaz whips around and looks straight at Pastiche.
Chuman does almost the exact same moment.
It is good to see you here, Nazev. Mr. Monaco.
See? This is the backup. They'll be star achievers, Demios. And Demios kind of like folds his furred arms over his big chest and kind of like puffs, kind of sizing you all up. Let's have everybody make a straight up charisma check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna please.
But if you're proficient in performance, you can roll performance instead.
Aw, yeah, Xalia's picking her nose.
Hell yeah!
strike
Is it?
demon flaming
Shaking
nose.
ever so slightly, forcing a very toothy smile.
Zoaz probably isn't doing anything special based on that roll. He's just looking directly at Pastiche and is probably whispering, "We'll talk about this later, Andy."
After Chuman's quick whip around to Pastiche, he continues looking around the area as if he's not even paying attention to the conversation.
Twig's just staring at Nazev with a kind of forced neutral expression.
Yes, for the expedition. Zoaz pipes up and turns around, straightens up.
The
Hello.
lion man known as Demios Fool Killer bellows to the group.
No, I have you.
I'm not sure. How capable are they, Nazev? They look just as likely to climb up to bed as they are to cloy a chunk of berry wine.
I know.
Why? And he takes like a step towards you all in the water. You all won't mind a bit of boredom, will you?
Zoaz shrugs. and
Yeah,
says,
Ace and eyebrow.
Boredom is fine with us.
I'm always bored, sir.
There are worse inconveniences than boredom.
Twig, roll persuasion. With disadvantage, but you already have it.
It's already a double disadvantage.
Just kind of like,
Roll
Yeah,
4
there's
dice
on the
and take the
wall.
lowest.
Yeah, alright. You get a side eye from the golden lion. He looks at you. Kind of like tilts his head back, kind of like, ah. He looks at Nazev and kind of like points a thumb claw at Twig. That one's in charge. Alright.
Wait, this is important.
Welcome.
What does Zoaz feel slighted by this? This is important.
Yep.
Okay, Twig can lead the group.
Why did you think about it? What was the DC there?
No, this is a personal thing.
I know.
Okay.
DC a lot.
The large lion man steps between the the circle of rocks that are coming up from the water. Well, definitely fat lady work of what you found. Could be pretty boring as well. Be careful. Keep your eyes peeled. Have you been?
Go ahead.
Have you been briefed on this expedition? We're doing an excavation below Ituusk. There's new discoveries to be made with the help of our dear friend Nazev.
I have been briefed, but my friends could all use a reminder.
Well,
Zoaz clears his throat. What our friend Andy means is that more information hurts nobody, or never hurt anyone.
Yes, exactly.
We have been given a general idea, but we don't know the specifics.
I agree. More information is always best. So, you are to be joining an expedition with myself, Nazev Monaco, and me man. And he points around at the various Ituusk guards in their typical kind of like black suit raiment with an orange wraps everywhere and kind of like variously obscuring their faces. This door here behind me has been locked for quite some time, and as the boss of Ituusk, no stone shall be left unturned. If there's something here, especially if it's dangerous, well, we'll just have to figure it out. Word on the street is that it is definitely some sort of preserved ruins, and I guess that it's all about that old God Emperor legend. Riches, artifacts, pleasant surprises await us in here.
Pastiche takes a small step forward. And is this everyone who will be joining us?
Dimios looks around. You can see him kind of counting in his head. Looks in it. Will there be anyone else joining us, Mr. Monaco? You're not quite sure why he elongated it. But from Nazev's reaction, you can see him kind of recoil a bit. Nope. This is everyone that is going to join us. Your gods, myself, of course. And the lovely expedition crew, featuring Andy.
Pastiche does kind of a quick survey of the room.
You see several armed Ituusk guards. You see your party, you see this massive golden lion, and you see Nazev Monaco smiling at you.
Accel does a less brisk inspection of the general guards. Generally trying to see if there's any one specific of them that seems, I guess, off.
Okay.
Or...
Yeah, you're looking for like body language or see if any of them are kind of like looking weird. Yeah, roll insight.
A little different.
A little insight action.
13.
Okay, 13. You kind of like cast your, you cast your eyes over all the wrapped up guards, and they all seem to have the same kind of at attention body language, their stance. As far as looking at them, they all seem to be very similar. They're all dressed the same. They all have the same overall weaponry, like some kind of blade. Like there's scimitars, there's rapiers, there's sabers, there's just like a regular sword. You can see that they have like a few of them have crossbows or something like that. Some men, some women. Not really able to tell much more than that.
Makayla momentarily thinks herself foolish for thinking that she'd be able to discern Xalia's mother of all people from just like one interaction with them.
Pastiche locks eyes with Nizev, and Nizev with Andy.
I can't wait to sir, help, sir.
I can't wait to see what you can do. Consider this your first lesson. My
Yes,
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed pupil.
Pastiche wags their tail a little bit, forcefully.
The lion bellows, "Well, I'm keen to get started. You've shown up at the right time. We can get on with it right away."
Right.
Well, Nizev, go ahead. And Nizev produces a dragon shard from his coat. It is this one seems like it's clearly a dragon shard, but it seems like a deeper red, kind of like a more ruby color, rather than the salmon that the dragon shards you have been encountering thus far are. He walks over to the door. This dude gets out of the way. Walks over to the door. Gives a nod to the Tritos guard, and holds it up towards the recess. And then Nizev turns around towards Jimmy and goes, "Well, everyone, get ready. We're not sure what will happen after we open the door, but steal your wits about you. Must be ready for whatever lies ahead, I'm sure. I'll place the dragon shard if you'll pull that lever in the pool, please, Demios." And then, kind of like gingerly puts it in there. There's the grating. And Demios reaches down into the pool, and you can see his forearm and bicep tighten as he gives a grunt, and he pulls up. And then there's the grating of stone upon stone. Xalia is quietly freaked out.
Sorry.
There's the grating of stone upon stone. The red crystal is locked into place in the recess, and the door glows with a reddish pink and slowly opens to reveal a pitch dark hallway. There's light from the surrounding torches that spills in, and just at the edge of the dim light, you can make out something skittering on the ground before vanishing into the darkness. You can hear one of the robed Tritos guards yell "halt" and like into the darkness and just try to run forward. Like jumps off, bloop, 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 and then he's stopped by Demios. "Wait." A few moments pass, and the hall flickers with a sky blue light a few times, and the next rows of words on either side of the hallway illuminate the lights, just chasing into the darkness. There's a nod. "Now we can go."
Zoaz begins making his way down.
Okay. Everyone kind of like, all the guards just kind of like pile in behind you, just
As Zoaz gets to the door, he kind of looks behind him, hoping that someone or other may come through the door. Like sort of...
Xalia is right there, staring.
By golly, you found her.
Not. You know what? We'll go with that. And Zoaz just sighs and keeps walking. Yeah, like he's trying to look up and see, and Xalia's right there, staring him in the face. Yes, hi, Xalia. And turns around and keeps walking.
Let's see. I'm getting a cool little graphic as you guys move forward. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Whoa.
Bloop, 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 bloop,
What?
bloop, bloop. Those are the runes on the side. The words that are illuminated in the hallway.
Zoaz is going to take a look at these runes and see if he can... I mean, are they literal, like, runes that Zoaz can't read, or are they words?
They were originally... Sorry, that's the wrong way to start that sentence. What you originally thought were runes, as you actually take a look at them, Zoaz, you can see that they are words, bright and easily legible, defying the erosion of time. You find many words, and you recognize... Sorry, you find many words you recognize, and you also find many words you do not, like in a script, that you do not recognize. And as you walk this corridor, you just quietly read them, taking in each of what they say. As you, the words you can read, Zoaz, as all of you, like Nazev, Dimios, your party, and these like Traitosk wrapped up guards with protection from sand. The words that you and anyone else that chooses to look at the words that are illuminated in this sky blue are in no real order. Purifying fire, radiance, wraith, slay, king, page, blade, rebirth, ember, guardian, blaze, prophet, retrieve, wanderlust, Khorzaire, betray, populace, seal, riches, eternity, immortality, moment, dust, machine, soul, rule, and gods. And very helpfully, I'll put that in the chat.
Thank you.
Could I take a closer look at these walls, or like the runes, to see if it seems like just a random collection of words, or if it's like sentences broken up by script we can't recognize?
Okay. That would be investigation.
Okay.
While that's happening, Chuman walks up next to Zoaz and whispers into his ear, "Best that we be on our guard. This is eerily similar to our last encounter with the Dragon Shard."
Zoaz nods and says, "Oh, believe me, I was thinking the same thing."
Okay. Pastiche, you're looking at these words and how they're arranged, and you can see how they might be sentences. There are definitely words, like, in script that you recognize, and, like, it seems to change language. For instance, some are in Common, some are in Draconic, some are in Elven or Orcish, some are in Dwarven. It just seems to be like an amalgamation of languages. Some of them you don't recognize, some of them you do.
As in, like,
It seems like, yeah, like there's words in script that you don't recognize. And this is anybody. Like, you recognize most script, but they're like the languages that you are not familiar with, like, interpose words between the languages that you are familiar with. So it could be, you're as far as whether it creates like a genuine sentence, you're not sure. because you don't know what the other like you don't know what the interposing words are.
Right.
You don't see any periods or any punctuation.
Okay. Pastiche is going to place a claw on the wall, kind of scratch across a few words.
You see Xalia
Cute.
kind of looking
she
at.
just points at it. She points at it and, like, grabby hands it with the
Yeah.
ghost hand.
There's like a little ghost hand touching the word wraith whenever it comes up.
We're gonna try and read these words we can't read.
Okay. Are you using a spell slot on that, or are you ritual casting it?
Yes, I'm using a spell slot.
Okay, so you are able to understand the literal meaning. It takes about a minute to read a page of text, so you're as you start dragging behind, like touching the words and the illumination, you start to get the start to get the sense of whether or not it could be a sentence before you're kind of like jostled by one of the Tratos guards. Like, hey, hurry it up. But you do get, before, like during your lingering, before you're ushered forward, you do get the sense that it does seem to be a sentence. And probably like in the middle or towards the end, you would do this. Question mark.
Okay.
No, like when, like around when would you have done this? Like in the middle of the trek, or at the end?
Probably around the middle.
Okay. Let's see here. Around the middle, you would get this. You would probably manage a sentence, and the sentence is. By my passing, the populace of the continent that I have guided towards prosperity with my companions and peers, I will guide towards eternity and offer them eternal life. And then the beginning of the next sentence is break free from, and then you just get like shoved forward.
I'm sorry. I'll be right there. And Pastiche will begrudgingly follow the guard.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything fancy?
I assume Xalia's ghost handing the wraith doesn't get her anything.
Let's see. You chill touch the word wraith. Your assumption is correct.
Okay, cool. She's gonna do it a few times though, just to be sure,
You deal. Unfortunately, it's immune to necrotic damage. So you do manage. Yeah. you definitely do kind of like harass the word wraith a little bit with your chill touch, with your ghost hand. There isn't really any negative reaction, but there is a positive reaction, if you want to call it that. The ghost hand does flare a little bit, as if it were momentarily stronger, or like has like a more profound impact on existing something. Well, you're not sure.
Interesting. Well, we have stealth slots. We are going to walk up. We are going to put our hand directly on the one that says, where is it?
Wraith, was it?
No.
Oh.
Blaze.
Uh-oh.
And we are going to burning hands directly into the wall.
Okay. No, wait, what are you... Roll me damage.
Yeah, how intense is this flame?
The wall gonna make the save
lot.
though.
That's pretty good.
Slightly above average, you know?
Okay.
She's not directing. She shouldn't actually hit anyone. She's pointing it straight into the wall.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Mhm.
The wall. Yeah, you can hear me like, does what? You can hear me thinking.
Caleb jumps back and like against the wall.
I mean, does the fire like kind of spray outwards?
Yeah,
If you're-
absolutely.
Yes, but not enough to damage you. Someone's hair
Absolutely
catches
does.
fire.
Yeah.
Pastiche on the opposite wall feels heat against their back. He turns around for a moment.
The words on the wall like shift and transform into "We'll be right back."
Uh-huh.
It would be really cool, but nothing happens.
Okay.
Except, however, you do manage to char this section of the wall, and you obscure the word blaze.
She thinks for a moment. Then she's gonna get out the foot whisper and carve in the word blaze back into the wall.
Okay. I think you are also shoved forward. Hey, keep going. Don't mess with the stuff unless the fool killer says something.
She's gonna straight up hiss at them.
All right, well, let's roll initiative. No, I'm just kidding. You are grappled. There's a grapple attempt incoming.
He's coming.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see. All right, I rolled a massive 7. All right, as you struggle with this Tratos guard, and with blade brandish trying to hack into the wall with with your tourist dagger, you get a few like you carve out a few chunks of whatever.
She's not trying to carve, she's just trying to put the word back.
Well, the guard doesn't know that, and then through the strength of you trying to get free from his grasp, that unfortunately some chunks are carved out of the wall. They kind of go against the ground, but mysteriously, none of the area around the words are able to be carved out. It's only when you when you clearly miss the mark, and
She'll try to clean off then.
There is a hand that rests on each of your shoulders, both Xalia and the Tratos guard, and it's another Tratos guard. And this Tratos guard says, "Okay, come on, what's the fuss, eh? Let's."
Xalia is not paying attention at all, and she's trying to clean off the wall, clean off the soot.
Okay.
See if the word's still there, if it's undestructible or whatever.
Best leave her to do whatever she was doing.
As you
Safer for everyone.
As you clear the char off the wall and wipe the carbon off of it from your burning hands, the word blaze does come back, and it is bright blue, bright sky blue. You hear in your ear as the Tratos guard leans towards you and whispers. You hear a more feminine voice and say, "Hey, let's be careful, okay? Don't make too much of a fuss."
Thalia shrugs. It's like, okay, she's done here. Moving on.
As Makayla's like walking by them, she'd be like holding up her lantern, just like up to the words to like see if it gives her a little extra, like help her read, as if that's what she's trying to do, but she's actually just trying to see Cindy's reaction to the flame.
There is, like you hold your lantern up expectantly. There's not much of a reaction, but it does illuminate the area, and you see a little clearer. You can see the walls are made out of this black material, definitely some kind of stone. But it seems to kind of like pull at your lantern a bit, and like the only light is the blue of the words on the walls.
Like physically pull, like a tug, like a sort of gravitation, not like not as if it's any strong force, but like as if just
the flame inside your lantern like is flickering erratically, which doesn't make sense because there's no wind.
Got it. Cool. Okay. I was just curious if there would be any reaction, but I feel like she wouldn't be trying to do it as if, like, she's trying to cover as if this is just helping her to read, like look at the wall, like with some extra light, but it's really just because she doesn't want people to think there's anything up with that lantern specifically.
I get it.
Yeah. So cool. That's all.
Okay.
I don't have any fancy spells I can
use. As you reach the end of the corridor, begrudgingly, there is another thick double door with a glowing enormous word directly across the middle in common. Life. Demio's kind of like tilts his head, like as if he's speaking back to the people behind him. Very theatric.
These ruins do tend to have quite a lot of flourishes, so to speak.
Well, the DM considers saying, well, this sign can't stop me, I can't read. But Demios can read, so he doesn't say that. Demios shrugs and easily pushes the door open. There are stone steps.
I mean, nothing ever bad came from a door that said life, and probably other words.
Why would there be bad stuff in there?
Yeah, life is a good thing.
It has been a straight passage, right?
Yes.
And no sign of the thing that skittered away?
That's a perception check.
Okay.
What'd you get?
5.
Okay. Stout.
Yeah. Indeed.
So, Zoaz, during the time that it takes for you to recall, wait, there is a skittery thingy, and divert your attention to looking around, there's no sign of it.
Okay.
You hear no, like, noises other than, foot pads.
Yeah.
And you do not see.
Zoaz shrugs. Must have been a mouse.
Mouse?
No, Pastiche. No mouse.
The name's Andy.
Andy, I apologize.
Alright. The soft padding of boots on the stone is the only sound as you descend further into these ruins. And it becomes too dark to see. Demios lights a torch.
Oh. Did it before I could.
Thank you, Demios.
Makayla also lights a torch.
Sorry, not night vision people.
Listen, I could have night vision if I wanted to.
You can't see it, but I'm checking my nails.
I can't see it. I'm within 5 feet.
Alright.
Yeah, you can't see it because you dweebs are blind in the dark, but...
I can make you blind. Smile.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Next.
Xalia's got my back.
Alright.
Moving
You
on.
cannot own a token with vision in the scene. You don't have to rub it in. Okay.
Now you're truly blind.
Let's see. Can you not see
guessing
yourself?
I cannot.
Nope.
I cannot.
Okay.
I
Can't see
can.
anything.
I can't see anything, yeah.
Let me make sure that I did it correctly.
Yeah, Twig, guess a direction now.
What about now?
Oh,
Still nothing for me.
Okay.
Is it like our default tokens? Like somehow all got reset?
Oh yeah, did you put our old
Anyone?
tokens there somehow?
No, I put
It
your
was
new
like
ones.
before the update. I don't know.
The only one I changed was Makayla.
Oh, fair enough.
Type token.
There.
oh, you could put yours in.
Yeah, don't do that though.
Yeah.
It won't
Well.
fix the problem. That's not.
Oh, there is a
So-
pastiche here.
Yeah. If you tab to make sure, or you can like tab to make sure one of your tokens is targeted, and I think should be.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
moving
type
me over
token.
I
somewhere.
cannot select the pastiche that was already in the scene.
Well, here, I
Yeah.
just put Chuman here. Can Chuman, can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay,
But now
that's,
there's two of me.
that's weird.
I mean-
Alright.
You could take. I guess you could take the old one.
Yeah.
And
Alright, everybody, do you see where my mouse is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put your token there.
How?
In the actor directory on the top right, there's a little person icon.
Yeah.
You in the folder player characters, you should have yourself. Just
Everyone
I know.
Just drag
on
and
their
drop.
token has vision enabled, right?
Oh, there it is. There she is.
Like on their prototype tokens,
Yeah.
but checkbox is clicked.
Like there.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's see here.
Because that's
I'll
what.
put what I can see in general.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just put
Oh, there we go. Fixed it.
yeah.
Problem solved.
Gaming.
All right. Can
Get from
anybody?
the dark, no problem.
All right. Can everybody see now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to figure out what that's about.
Mhm.
All right. So, let's see here. Back to what we were doing. So you guys pad down the steps. The music changes. The soft padding the boots on the stone is the only sound as you descend into this. Demios lights the torch, and you reach a landing. Is somewhat compact room, and you can see in the light of the torch that there is a pedestal in a recess on the south wall that holds only the foot in a lower leg of an alabaster statue. The rest lies shattered and scattered in just chunks of alabaster on the floor between two braziers that line that flank this pedestal. There's a weary plaque in the middle that bears the writing below this trashed statue. As Demios and Nazev move up towards it, Timios' torch goes out.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
What is... what sorcery is this?
Can Xalia Arcana it, see if you have any sense of what just happened? Like the details of how it went out?
Yeah, sensing that it might be some sort of arcane trickery afoot, go ahead and roll me some Arcana.
Good job, Xalia.
A 10 is pretty decent. You do still get a 10.
Yeah.
And a 10's good. A 10, yeah, there's definitely, like, there's been no wind this entire time. So there's nothing, like, that could have whisked it away. But it's almost as if it was, like, the flame was plucked from above and then squished. And
Xalia
It's
looks
just
up.
their flame, not mine, right?
Yeah, that-
my torch.
yeah, your torch kind of, like, stretches upwards, but it's still lit.
Xalia looks at the ceiling.
It's dark. There is no light, and you don't have dark vision, so you cannot look at the ceiling. There is only inky
Xalia-
blackness ahead of you.
Xalia walks over to Zoaz, taps him on the shoulder, and points to the ceiling.
The moment that you tap on Zoaz, and there is a flare of light in the room. Just the light is turquoise. So this flashes, just washes over the room, just and then flickers, flickers out, flickers in, and then flickers out, and then it is replaced with regular, boring torchlight.
As Pastiche rejoins the group, they're going to sidle up next to Timios and do their best to watch his back.
Is a broad back to watch. There's a lot of ground to cover.
Fortunately, Pastiche is very good at that.
Andy is very good at that.
No, Pastiche is very good at that. Andy is a scared coward.
if only Pastiche were with us right now.
If only. Unfortunately, we just have this dweeb Andy.
Alright. You can see that Nazev is right up against the pedestal. Seems rubbing his bearded chin, looking at the braziers, and then looks down at the plaque. And is everyone here? Pretend there's like a million Tratos guards around you, by the way. I'll read this plaque if you all don't mind then. Let's see here. Let me adjust my glasses. He's not wearing glasses. Let's see. He kneels down. You can see him kind of move forward. And he appears to be brushing like sand, dust out of the way. By the Emperor's decree, this house shall be resting place of the Wandering Herald's retrieval mission by the joined hands of Dagon. Dagon? He looks back as he says this. And wenceless, that's to be expected, shall they ensure the security of the one who shall herald the God Emperor's return, and only by joined hands of the watchful eye and her chosen son shall the time come to pass. Those of you who know Draconic will recognize son, the Draconic word for ally. And any Khorzian will know that Dagon is a deity of water. Lauded for flowing rivers, running water specifically, not stagnant water. Flowing rivers, wavy oceans, the rain coming from the sky.
At this point, Zoaz would probably be bothered by Xalia, poking at him, and look up at the ceiling to see if there's anything up there.
Yeah, make a perception check. Both Xalia and Zoaz.
Hey.
Oh, even though I'm fucking blind. Got it.
Well, it lit up now. The torches went
right.
on.
Okay.
She's fucking blind.
Zoaz is too busy, or Xalia is too busy harassing Zoaz.
Alright, Zoaz. So you know in The Legend of Zelda, those hands that come out of the ceiling and like descend upon you and like grab you and throw you back to the center? The wall masters?
Yeah, wall masters.
That's what you don't see.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you do see is a something long, spindly, and metallic slide back in, or slide up into the ceiling, and a panel is closed. Just. But other than that, the ceiling is made of a dark stone, almost purple metal. Sorry, not metal. Stone.
Mm-hmm. Zoaz has a loud, sharp inhalation. Let's a loud, sharp inhalation go. Just a. And as Mr. Monaco reads stuff off, and the group sort of idles around, Zoaz will whisper to Xalia, "There was something up there. Is that what you wanted me to see?"
Xalia goes, kind of looks a little bit excited, and then kind of nods, and then just kind of, she's gonna minor illusion a torch, and then just have like a ghost hand just snuff it out, sort of deal.
Maybe. I shall keep my eyes peeled.
She gives you a thumbs up. It is several thumbs.
Uh-huh.
Is my torch still being sort of drawn upwards?
Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
Zev stands up. What does Makayla do? Sorry?
So, I was just saying it just walks up a little bit.
As you walk on, Zev stands, dusts his hands. Well, I know my way around a ruin or two, but would the class attempt to make a guesstimate of what that means? Demio scoffs. Boy, this is not a field trip, Nazev. Humor me for just a moment. And eyes kind of settle on Andy. What do you suppose we should do next?
We should check the doors.
Yes, well done. There are 2 doors. But we've been given a clue, and gestures towards the pedestal. What meaning do you suppose the clue has? My good pupil.
Pastiche kind of sidles a little bit closer to Demio's.
I'm sorry, this is not exactly my comfort zone.
Zeb sighs and shrugs his shoulders. Alright, well, that's why this is a lesson after all. Clearly, it mentions joined hands many times. This is something I have come across before in previous excursions. It revolves around using teamwork.
Oh,
So with that hint,
hold hands.
no, we are not holding hands, Andy. We are working together, and so figuratively, we are holding hands. We must What this means is we must help each other.
Xalia minor illusion the hand on Andy's hand.
Yeah. What this means is we must help each other. If we are to reach our destination, likely there will be many obstacles that we can only overcome if our benevolent other party overcomes their own and paves the way forward.
Question,
Yes, my good lady.
Professor. What is our, or what do you suppose our destination is?
The end of the ruins, I suppose, where you can see him kind of like thinking, I'm not sure what is at the end. I mean, surely riches, artifacts, exciting revelations, certainly. Do you know what the tomb is?
Killiga rolls her eyes. I have been in my fair share, yes.
Astounding. Let us be off then.
Sorry,
Sorry, astounding. Let us be off then. Perhaps, perhaps, Andy, you don't need a chaperone. I will. Demios, what do you say about taking one way and letting these students take the other way?
Turns away and rolls her eyes again.
Demios shrugs. Sure. Fine by me. Oi, I've got an idea. Since you were so benevolent to pony up your time and your capabilities, I'll let you choose which way you want to go. And me men and me Nazev will take the other one. As a thank you.
Is there anything of note about the doors?
Yeah,
to differentiate them, I guess.
Take a look-see, if you don't mind. A little perception check.
Don't mind if I do.
As Makayla...
Oh god, it's almost a 1. It's 20.
As Makayla considers and checks out each door, looking at one, looking at the other, the doors are different. The southern one appears to depict a showering of gold coins, and they appear to be pouring into an ocean. And the northern door appears to have a relief or like a carving that seems to be depict some kind of sentinel or like vigilant figure, and behind them is a crackling rain cloud where lightning is flashing.
That's ominous.
Clearly we go for the lightning.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. Which one was which? Sorry.
The first one described is the south door.
Okay. And the latter was
the second one was the northern. Let's see. With a 20, with a 20, you also see scripted. It's a little difficult to tell out, to pick out, because it's in an odd location. It's not like a nameplate or anything, but you do see Dagon's Waters on the southern door. It seems to be some kind of like label. Dagon's Waters and Prosperity. And then the northern door appears to say Wencesless's Vigilance and Checks notes. Rebirth. Wenceslaus's Vigilant Rebirth.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, looks
You
back.
okay, Will?
Oh, that was tired grumbling. Sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Killer shrugs. Flips a coin.
When DC.
Heads north, tail south.
That is tails.
Suppose we'll go south. Any objections?
Zoaz shakes his head.
Xalia is still
None
looking
here?
dead at the ceiling.
Take that as a no.
The mention of water and ruins has me a little nervous, but Twig like glances at the north picture. Maybe south is best.
Truth be told, I would feel safer with Dimios around, but if Mr. Monaco thinks I can handle this,
Pastiche looks at Nizev, wide-eyed.
There's a warm professor's grin on Nizev's countenance. He's looking at you. It's like,
then south it is.
Zoaz looks away and rolls his eyes and heads to the south.
Boy, Demios shouts out. And he makes a good point. We can't very well let them on their own, can we? You! He points to a random Tratos guard. Go with him! Another Tratos guard like pops up. Boy! Crikey! Archie, let me prove myself. Let me go with him. Prove yourself, too. You go with him. Boy.
I assure you, we're all very capable of taking care of ourselves. Well, looks at Andy. All of us. But if you insist on sending a chaperone, I will not complain. You are the one leading this exposition.
Hold on, this chaperone's actually gonna roll persuasion, because Demios is like, how dare you question me? What the heck? How'd they roll a 20?
Dang! Dude, gaming?
He's ready to prove so.
A 15 plus 5, okay.
Almost like they have some kind of
Yeah.
serendipitous
It could be.
deity that
A
they
15, alright. Persuasion achieved. Alright. South it is then, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Alright, well.
is what the coin said.
Of course the coin would choose the coin door, eh? Right. Off we go then. Nizev and takes up a position next to Demios. Demios tries to open it. It doesn't open. Like
Tries to open this door. Does it open?
okay.
It does not.
It does not.
Cool. Well, anticlimactic, but suppose this will have to be
Look around.
delayed for a little bit.
You can see Nizev looking expectantly with this wry grin on his face, like he knows something. I do believe, after nobody pipes up. I do believe this may be our first test of teamwork. We'll have to open the doors at the same time.
Zoaz shrugs, looks at Makayla, and says, "I'll help. I'll help. On the count of 3, we'll both push together."
Dimios, that's you too. Right. On 3.
Makayla has a look of like, it can't be that simple, but then she remembers the fact that there was a key just hidden in a pot right next to her before, and she's like, you know what? Why not?
Zoaz begins counting down, or begins counting up. 1, 2, 3, and he begins pushing.
And everybody piles in.
Well, suppose we shall get going, and Zoaz starts into the room.
Okay. As you all enter this room, it's bigger on the inside than on the outside. As you see immediately from the torchlight of the braziers, it glistens with gold coins. There's typical, very standard-looking treasure chests open with mounds of gold coins just spilling out of them. Jewels litter the ground. Across all of this sandy-colored tomb, whatever, temple, whatever, across this sandy-colored stone, vases, intact vases, also appear to have gold coins spilling out of them. Some of them are not overflowing, so it's difficult to tell what's in them. But there's gold statues. There's some reliefs in the walls, and as you all pile in, the color of the light switches back to turquoise as the door closes behind you. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Alrighty.